it's Andrea. How are you? Today is the hydration conversation that I have with all of my clients when they first start with me. A lot of times people forget to think about what they're drinking in terms of calories and also what that liquid's doing in your stomach and all sorts of other factors. So here is the hydration conversation. You hear all the time, drink 8 to 10 glasses of water a day. Yes, for your body to be at its best and lose weight, it has got to be firing on all cylinders, and that means, being rested and being properly hydrated. You got to help yourself, okay? So with some of these, smaller things, like that's not so hard. Just do it. But here's the thing, it's less than you think. And I just wanted to show you, this is one of my glasses here, and this is what you should do at home. And it's just like the wine discussion I had a few weeks ago. Go ahead and take a measuring cup to this. A glass, with this recommendation of 8 to 10 glasses of water a day, a glass is 8 ounces, right? So you measure it out. In my glass, this is actually 14 ounces fills this. So that's almost, it's almost 2 servings of water in this one glass of water. If I put ice in it, this is exactly 8 ounces of water in this glass. So once you kind of know your own glasses, you can have a better sense of how much you're actually having in a day. Now, some other huge tips. The other thing I want to just tell you about hydration is it's really hard to find hard and fast science on this that applies to absolutely everybody. So the 8 to 10 glasses of water is kind of this general human recommendation. If you're working out more, if you're out in the sun, if it's hot, you definitely need more hydration. Now, you do get to count absolutely everything you drink as hydrating. Even coffee, caffeinated beverages are still hydrating, they're water. Now, Americano type drinks have less caffeine than drip coffee, so they will be less dehydrating. And if you go that route, that's 2/3 water in that coffee. So that's really a good way to go and keep up with your hydration. Let's see, what else do I want to say about coffee and caffeine? It's just not that bad, but try not to have more than, say, 2 cups of coffee a day. If you're somebody that's having like 4 or 5, like I used to, no judgment on this, just start to dial it back. Your system will actually function better with rest and less coffee. It's not that some isn't great and it's a proven metabolic booster, it's fine. And I have maybe a cup in the morning and maybe a cup in the afternoon for sure. But just try to make your life not dependent on that coffee so much, because it will have a dehydrating effect after a little bit. Okay, so here's some big tips you've never heard of, or I don't know, I think you've never heard of them. One of the big things is that your body can only assimilate about 4 ounces of water every 15 minutes. So this idea of like chugging this glass of water and then I'm like super hydrated, no, you're really just like exercising your kidneys. You're gonna pee most of that out. So really try to sip water throughout the day, or have a glass, sip on it a little bit over time to properly hydrate yourself. Another big thing is that don't drink a lot of water with your meals, or a lot of whatever it is with your meals. It's going to dilute the gastric juices essentially that aid your digestion. So while in And Life, I'm attacking portions more than anything, and eating schedule. If you get the app, download it, and even in the onboarding for the food is my eating plan, and I have a book coming out that really describes this method. But you don't want to dilute all these juices you have that will properly digest and begin the digestive process of your carbohydrates, your proteins, and your fats in your stomach. Part of digestion issues are kind of what I call it's operator error. It's like we're operating our stomach wrong. We're not really giving it a chance. And 2 things people do in meals is, 1, just drink too much liquid with their meal, and then this food doesn't get that proper start up in your stomach and then ends up down, and it's just not really how it should be as it's moving through, and then we get all sorts of gastric issues. But secondly, this is like was a popular diet thing where people would drink like a big glass of water or a mug of hot water before their meal to try to stretch out their stomach so they would eat less. This is the exact opposite approach of and life, and how I've been so successful with my clients my way, and what I think is a real life way, because it means you can eat whatever you want socially, is to train your stomach to only be comfortable taking in an amount of food that fits your energy needs. So we're basically non-surgically shrinking your stomach with smaller portions. That's in terms of food. But the beverages stretch out your stomach too. These super-sized beverages. Get rid of that in your life. You don't need it. It's not helpful. If you're going to take a beverage and it's what you're going to have for many hours, okay, I get it, totally. But be sipping that over time. And I don't think I have to say sodas and stuff like that. Come on now. We all know that is a social food. That should be considered a cake. Any kind of soda. And diet soda too. The chemicals in your system don't set it up to lose weight properly. So you got to think about that. If that is something that you just are struggling with, maybe it's the last holdout, but try to go a week without some diet soda, without those chemicals in your body, and see how you do. See if you can't burst through that plateau. I think people are surprised at the effect of all the chemicals in processed foods and things like diet sodas, and their effect on your hormones, and your hormones affect your digestion. So anyway, don't drink these massive portions of liquid to try to eat less food. Train your stomach to eat less food. Get the app, go look at the process of that, and you will be enormously successful, and you will make friends with food for life, but also with your drinks. Okay, so here's the way I get my clients to think about it. What we're looking for is caloric to non-caloric drinks in a day, because what happens is people don't think about the calories they're taking in with a latte or with their glasses of wine or with whatever it is. And sometimes that's the difference between, muffin top and being super lean. This little extra blah 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 or blah 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 that nobody likes. It can be your beverages. Sometimes you have your food just fine, and you're crushing yourself with your beverages. So take a look at this and think of it this way. On the app, I have this cool hydration tracker, and the way I get my clients to think about it is trying to stay over 60% non-caloric drinks. So in an average day for me, this might look like 6 glasses of water, so maybe 6 of these, 2 LaCroix. I love LaCroix. I love Pamplemousse. I love key lime. You can love whatever you want. Maybe 2 of those. I will definitely have a cup of coffee with half and half. Sometimes in the afternoon, I'm somebody that can eat dairy. It's fine for me. So as a snack at 4 o'clock, I will have a latte. This is sometimes, not all the time. That's kind of rare, but a latte would have probably 6 to 8 ounces of milk in it. That is calories, that is B vitamins, that is protein, I do whole milk, that's fat. So that definitely counts as a caloric drink. And then glasses of wine. Say I go out to dinner and I have 2 glasses of wine. Okay, so if we took that day, 6 glasses of water, 2 LaCroix, I had coffee with half and half in the morning, I had a latte in the afternoon, I had 2 glasses of wine. That actually adds up to 66%. Okay, I'm in the right place. So it's a pretty cool tracker I have. It's a different theory, and it makes you think about the calories you're taking in from beverages and how they might be affecting your weight loss or just your fitness, leaning out, even that extra 5 pounds. If you're stuck, maybe go look at your beverages and keep track of even just that for a week or so and see how you do. Okay? So those are my tips for the day, and I just want to give you one more. In And Life, what we do in terms of alcohol, this is the only beverage that is not hydrating. Any alcoholic beverage cannot be counted as hydrating. And they are dehydrating, and it's like a straight injection of sugar. You have to know this, and that's every kind of drink there is. Obviously, you know, something like a pina colada, think of it like a piece of cake. A glass of wine does have some nutritional value, you know. My clients always ask me, you know, a vodka soda is probably the safest low-calorie drink, but they're all social foods, if you want to call it. Like, it's not beneficial. There's no benefit aside from you're having fun. So really, if you can, start thinking about trying to ratchet down your alcohol or even just the portions of it, and you will see a leaning immediately. If you're a 2 glasses of wine a night person, well, maybe you pour yourself less wine in each glass. You're probably still going to have 2, but maybe pour yourself less. If you're in a restaurant, maybe split a Cortino with somebody so that you're each only having a glass and a half rather than 2 glasses of wine. If you're somebody that's having 3, have 2. Just start having a little bit less and make that the only change you make for a week, and see if this doesn't change. And if you're a soda drinker, I want to tell you a story about a client I had about 10 years ago. So this woman came to me, she had a lot of weight to lose, and I, you know, asked her kind of what she does and whatever, and she was drinking a big gulp Coca-Cola every day, and then maybe a couple more. And so I said, do me a favor. We weren't going to be able to start together for 2 weeks. There wasn't a slot in my time. This is how it went. There wasn't a slot in my schedule for her for 2 weeks. So I said, well, do me a favor before we get together. Just take soda out of your diet. That's the only thing I want you to do. The only change. I don't care if you exercise at all. I don't care what you eat. Just do that. And in those 2 weeks, that woman dropped 12 pounds. I'm not kidding. She had a lot of weight to lose, but that was how much in terms of energy she could not use, and just bloating, and from the chemicals in that she lost 12 pounds. And that just showed me, wow. I mean, you know, results are atypical, but it just shows you don't know, every body is different, and in your system, you might be taking in something that is really just not great for you. And if you eliminate, oh my God, like it could be a game changer, and that's an obvious one. So I just shared that story today. This is how I'd like you to approach hydration. If you start having some serious success with this, or you find that it gets you past a little plateau or something, please message me and let me know. I love success stories. And if you have any questions, feel free to message me.